Powered by Riverside FM.
What I was trying to say is that if I can change,
Я думаю, что каждый тоже изменился
and
сегодня.
you can change,
Вы можете измениться.
everybody can change.
Каждый может измениться.
You're listening to WildFireRadio.com presents the Jerry Torres program. No bad news, no sad news, no politics, no religion, just happy fun stuff. And now, here's your host, Jerry Torres.
Five-time Emmy Award-winning anchor Ron Burgundy and Tits McGee.
Now go do that voodoo that you do so well.
Oh God, let me think here. God damn it, I'm trying to think. Yes. I'm thinking really hard. Much better. Anyway. Welcome one and all to another episode of the Dr. Jerry Torres program. Yes, I am a doctor. Anyway. Oh my God. Appreciate everybody coming on, staying on. Thank you so much. Oh my God. Oh my God, man. Anyway. So today was a pretty good day. I went to the doctor today, get my chest checked out. Everything seemed normal, thank God, you know what I mean? And nothing bad happened, So and then after that, what else did I do? I'm trying to remember any things I did. Oh, sorry. Oh yeah, here it is. Yeah, so oh my God. All right, hold on. Original. Ugh. Oh my Lord. Are you kidding me? I'm not gonna get into it. Not right now. Not right now. Anyway, so I went to see how much crap was built up in my chest, all that other stuff. And then after that, I didn't do much after that. You know what I mean? I just pretty much I came back home. I got up early this morning, worked out really early. Then after that, I said, "Is there any cleaning to do around this house? Any laundry? No, nothing." I was like, "Damn." So I was like, "Well, let me do this, let me do that, and then let me take a little nap because I had an appointment until 12:30." And then after that, when my brother came home, I went early grocery shopping, and then got that out of the way. Then I came back home, and I was like, "All right, well, let me take a nap until 12:30." I was watching Price is Right, and I just fell asleep, which is what I needed. And then went to the hospital, got checked out, and then after that, my God, man, I came home and I was like, "Hey, let me start cutting the grass." Yep, there I am. Get off my lawn. Ow, 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 ah, ah. My ear itched. So after I cut the grass, I was like exhausted and I was sweaty, I was stinky, and then we had Chinese food for dinner because it was too damn hot to cook. And then after all that, I was like, you know what? I thought about going to the comedy club tonight. I really thought about it. I was like, you know what? Let me just stay home and chill, man. I'm just staying home. I got a 4-day weekend, and then come next week, I'll make up for it. I'll go to the comedy club uh, next week, and after that, then I have a regular show on Friday. So I have two shows: one Thursday, one Friday. And oh my God, what the hell? I'm trying to get my water, man. Let me hold on. Mm. Ah, sweet, delicious H2O. Yeah, so I cut the grass, weed whacked everything, and then, like I said, I thought about going to the club. I really, really thought about it, but I was like, man, it's like the last 3 weeks of summer. Let me just chill. You know what I mean? Let me just lay back, and that's what I'm doing now. I'm pretty much just like, you know, I got a lot done today, this whole week, because Wednesday I had off, and I was like, damn, now I can do this and do that, and which I was doing. And then Thursday, yesterday, I was like, oh God, I got to do this, that, and the other thing. I was like, damn it. And today is Thursday. Anyway. And so tomorrow's Friday. I'm like, damn, what the hell is there to do? I already did everything. Maybe I'll just mop the floor or basically go to Acme, get some small stuff, nothing big, because I don't want to wash my car again. I was like, you know what? I'm good washing my car. What more do I need to wash my car again for? Maybe I might vacuum it because I have some sand after when I came back from the beach. Ah, God, man. I'm trying to think what to do tomorrow to keep myself ocupado. I don't know. We'll see what happens. I just gotta stop yawning, man. I don't want to drink coffee because if I did, it's gonna keep me up all freaking night. I might have to because lately I've been getting up at like 3 or 4 in the morning. Just to go pee pee, and then after that, I'm like, okay, I'm trying to get back to sleep. Why can't I get back to sleep? Oh God, it's crazy, dude. It's crazy how this past 2.5, or is it Wednesday? Today's Thursday. What the hell, man? What is today's date? Yeah, today is Thursday. Son of a bitch. It feels like a Friday because I'm normally off Thursday, Friday, and Saturday, right? And then when I had Wednesday off, it screwed up my whole schedule. I was like, okay, what should I do? Hello. Oh my God. I'm yawning like crazy. Oh my God. Anyway, so right now I am doing my podcast because I didn't feel like I said, I thought about it. I should have flipped the coin, made the fate. But the problem was, it's like I'm so exhausted. I am so tired that, I'm going to hear from people, oh, you haven't. Not only that, I was like, what should I talk about when I get there? Should I freestyle it? Should I just improvise? But then I was like, you know what? Let me just relax. Stay home. I got some laundry that's almost finished. I'll fold that. And maybe I'll drink a cup of coffee. Maybe, maybe. I don't want to, but maybe it might help me keep me awake for the rest of the evening until like there's a decent time for me to go to bed. Oh man, I don't know. Because there's so many things I want to watch. I gotta watch Star Trek and Strange New World. Then I gotta watch Linus, which reminds me, I have to write that down. Star Trek. Star Trek. Strange New World. And then Lioness. There you go. Perfect. Oh my God. Yeah, see what I mean? I got a very tight schedule I got to keep. Okay, hold on. All right, so let me go by here. There you go. I listened to Joe Rogan's podcast, and I wanted to see who was on. Okay, so today was Eric Good and Jeremy McBride are filmmakers whose works include Tiger King, Chimp Crazy, and Monsters. Huh. All right, maybe I'll check those guys out. Oh my God. It's already like people are voting like crazy. Oh my God, I'm yawning like crazy. I have to stop. Because already these Democratic Republicans, I don't know what the hell. They are basically trying to run for office, trying to get back. I'm tired. I don't even want to talk about it. That's how dumb it is, man. But yeah, today I was like I said, I was cutting my neighbor's grass, just a section of it. When I noticed that these big, huge wasp were flying around again. Now I can't. They're called tiger wasp. I think that's what they're called. They're harmless. They don't they won't attack you unless you mess with them. You know, and so I was like,
I insist.
but I no, I'm not gonna. And I saw one when I was weed whacking, and this thing was huge. Oh my god, it was like the size of your middle finger, and it just like buzzed around me, looked at me, and was like, "Hey, what are you? What are you coming near my property for?" I was a little scared, but I mean, the thing just flew away, and I was like, "Oh, great, they're coming around." These things dig holes like nobody's business. It's like, oh my god, they're like the perfect diggers. They burrow inside to lay their eggs, and then they just take off. Um, yeah, because now that fall is a hop, skip, and a jump away, they're trying to like save their species or whatever for your next summer. But these things dig. Oh my god. They make these super quarter size holes on the ground, and you can just tell because they flick that dirt up. I was like, "Oh my god." And they have a very vicious sting. I was reading about them online. I mean, it won't cause you paralysis or poisonous, but yeah, it does a number on you. It hurts really bad. But I saw one. I was like, "Oh my god, that thing is huge!" And not like I said, nothing happened. I didn't mess with it. Let me see here. I'm trying to find it. There we go. Yeah, there you go. Yes, it was buzzing around. There it is. Yep. And it disappeared right in front of me. Oh my god, but those things are huge, man. I thought it was like one of those turkey buzzards that you see eating the dead carcass of a deer, you know? But it was fascinating to see something like that. That huge. Oh my god. But anyway, like I said, I was weed whacking and I was cutting the grass using the blower. Then I used the weed killer, and I was like, you know what? This is and I wore my thermal shirt, my thermal what the hell is it called? Surfer shirt. Now these shirts are freaking awesome. I have a neon green and green. I have three different colors. Anyway, but they protect you from the sun. You won't get a sunburn, and they make your body temperature drop. I don't know how they do it, but the fabric makes your temperature drop like 30 degrees, so that way you will not be like in heat, like a sauna heat in your body. So I was like, damn, this stuff does work. Hold on for a second. I forgot to take my pill this morning. Oh my god. Hold on. Anyway, so I managed to like take care of everything before after I came back from the doctor. So I was cutting, like I said, I was cutting my neighbor's grass. Everything was fine. Everything was good. I was killing everything again. It was like my driveway has these super conductive, horrible weeds that just grow out, and they're disgusting looking. I was like, man, I need like a clear, driveway. I don't want these freaking weeds. So if I use a weed, they're rocks. So if I use a weed whacker, it'll flick a rock and it'll hit somebody, hit my car, or hit my neighbor's car. So the only best thing, either you can pull them out or you can use weed killer. That's like the next best option to use. So I did was there's this weed killer that I buy. It's like no bigger than a can of soda, but if you pour it in, you mix it with water, it immediately becomes ultimate weed killer, and it does work. All you do is spray it, and then within like less than 30 minutes to an hour, it starts to wilt and swear revenge on you. I'll kill you all. But it does its job. And I maintain a good yard too. So managed to do all that. I was hot, stinky, and sweaty. I had grass and dirt all over me. I was like, oh God. Oh my goodness, man. I'm really trying my best to get things done, you know, because September is around the corner and I'm making plans for my birthday to either to go to Puerto Rico or Chicago. I don't know. I don't know. Maybe go to Puerto Rico for 3 days or something like that. I don't want to go to Las Vegas. I really don't. You know, Vegas to me is like I was talking about it with a friend of mine, and I said Vegas is good for 3 days. That's it. You know, any more than that, you like bored out of your mind. That's it. Oh my God. Why the hell did I put? Oh, I was about to say. All right, this one is. I'm playing. Okay, I said Vegas. I'm playing slot machines. All right, here he goes. One. That's better. There you go. And this one is how long? Wait a minute. There you go. Oh my God. I don't know. It's like I've been to Vegas. I don't know how many times in my lifetime, but Vegas has changed so much throughout the years. And the one thing is about Vegas is like it does have history, with the mafia. The Vegas of old, like the Flamingo, is still there today. And there's a other museum where you can see like the old signs of the casinos that are not around anymore. And then they have these plaques and monuments when the mafia at the time, gained full control. And I was like, oh shoot, I like this stuff. Then they have like another museum um of the legendary performers like Frank Sinatra, Sammy Davis Jr., the Rat Pack, where hey, they performed here too. I was like, oh crap. But I'm not a gambler. That's the thing, man. I'm like, oh God. They have a lot of buffet places, or laxative places, as I like to call them. They have a lot of restaurants. Like I said, Vegas has history, but I'm not a Vegas guy. Vegas is good for like 3 days. You just want to get the fuck out of there. I like Atlantic City for me personally. One, it's about 45 minutes to an hour drive to get there. Okay. And two, it's near the beach. It's near the ocean. So not only are they on the boardwalk, right? Okay, this is what I'm going to do the comparisons. AC and Vegas. Okay, here we go. Vegas. All right. Now, mind you, Vegas and Atlantic City both have mafia history. Yes, the mafia did control Atlantic City and the mafia did control Las Vegas for a short period of time. For a certain period of time. I don't rephrase that. But let's do the comparison. Okay, Las Vegas. It's a strip, right? Maybe 5, 8 miles long. I have no idea. But left and right, there's stores, there's casinos, there's shops, there are restaurants. And like, yeah, okay, that's it. By the time you reach the entire strip, right? It's like crowded with people and traffic. And then, like, by the time you get to the casino you want to go, you're exhausted because you're walking a lot. So you get to that casino, you're walking around, you're looking, you're like, oh wow, the Luxor, ooh, this casino, circus, okay, wow, 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 wee, wow, wee, wow, wee. And after that, you're like, oh, let me get something to eat. Okay, there's a buffet place. Ooh, or a nice restaurant over here. Hey, Subway sandwich, why not? So you're exhausted. You want to see a show, right? Or you basically want to see an event that's happening, a concert or a fighting event. And then after all that, you're like, "Ah, wow, let's see Skid Row. Let's see the heroin addicts. Hey, let's see those reality shows that we see on TV, the pawn shop place." So you're basically walking around looking, and then after that, you're like, okay, day two. Let's do the same thing again as we did the same thing yesterday. And then pretty much you're like bored out of your effing mind. You're like, third day, you're looking forward to getting the hell out of there, man. And I'm not saying all of Las Vegas is bad and horrible. No, there are many parts that are beautiful, like there's a lot of neighborhoods. They're rebuilding, they're remodeling, they're reconstructing Vegas right now as we speak because they want to make it more family oriented. Just like Las Vegas is now more like Disneyland because they want to bring kids over there. So Vegas has the IndyCar right now. They have the Sphere. Pretty much, they're expanding their horizons for more tourists to come down and see Vegas. Because Vegas, they don't want to make Vegas just for gambling. They also want to make it to like, hey, we got sporting events too. We got the Vegas Raiders. We got the Vegas A's. And we got the Vegas Golden Knights. Now they're working on a basketball team. You know what I mean? So that way they can attract more people. So Vegas is basically expanding, remodeling, and pretty much, adding things where the tourists can come down and say, "Hey, let's do this, let's do that." They're adding like helicopter rides, and then these want to try a gun place, whatever, and so Vegas knows what they're doing to catch the eye and the attention of the tourists. Okay, now let's go to Atlantic City. Now, for me to go to Atlantic City, it's about maybe 3 hour flight, give or take, maybe two, right? But Atlantic City is no less than 45 minutes to an hour. I take the scenic route. I never take the Atlantic City Expressway. Ever. I keep telling people, stay off the Atlantic City Expressway. Because number one, you're going to pay tolls. Two, you're going to hit traffic. Three, you're going to hit assholes. And by the time you make it to Atlantic City, you basically just want to turn the car around. You're like, I don't want to go anymore. The last bitch that I dated, she was like, take the expressway. We'll get there quicker. And I said, no, we take the scenic route. There's hardly any traffic. You get there on time. Yeah, you may hit a number of lights, but, I'm not hitting traffic. I'm not paying tolls. But okay, so then I take the scenic route. I'm not gonna get into that skank bitch, but anyway. So I take the scenic route. I see Atlantic City. I'm like, hey, I'm going here. I'm going there. So I park my car at a hotel, just to make sure that my car is there. So then after that, I pay for my parking, and this is what Atlantic City has: a lot of restaurants. They're adding another new casino as we speak. But for right now, they're like tearing down old buildings, rebuilding new casinos. They're adding more apartments and housing. They're like basically, again, they're reconstructing and remodeling to make Atlantic City like not like Jersey City or lowbrow drug addict town. You know what I mean? They want to get rid of it, and so far they are doing that. There are areas where it was like too dangerous to go. Now it's like, hey, we knocked down a lot of 50 houses and buildings. It's okay to come back here now. Why? Because we're remodeling, we're building condominiums and apartments. You're like, oh, okay, wow. So you get to Atlantic City, you go on the boardwalk, right? You can jump to casino to casino to casino. After that, you're like, hey, let's take a walk on the boardwalk, get some air. You take a walk on the boardwalk, you see the people, you see the atmosphere, you're like, oh, wow, you hear the ocean. But then all of a sudden, on a nice hot day like this, you're like, gee, I'm tired of walking on the boardwalk. Let's walk on the beach. Beach is right there. Hop, skip, and a jump. And then after the beach, you take a nice walk, and then enjoy a nice evening. And then after that, you come right back on the boardwalk, get some pizza, get a burger. Or if you want, you can go to a nice restaurant or gamble if you like, So now they're trying to build a museum of the history of Atlantic City, from the 20s to the 30s when the mob controlled it, this, that, and the other thing. It takes time. But yeah, I like Atlantic City. It's close by. I spent a night in AC before. Excuse me. And it's not that bad. Hold on. Ow. My nuts. Oh my God. So after all that, you're like, okay, I'm having a good time in AC. But for me, it's like I said, it's like a night or two. And then after that, I was like, okay, let me go back home. and like they're remodeling their hotels, and then they're trying to make it look eye catching instead of like eye gouging. So both these places, AC and Las Vegas, they're pretty much now friendly, competitive, I guess you can say. But yeah, Vegas, Atlantic City, from what I hear, they're trying to build a Indy car over there. They're trying to build a horse track race there, and a sphere. The word has it that they want to build a sphere in Atlantic City. So this all takes time, and it'll happen. It'll happen, man. Like if IndyCar, wow, okay, why not? Let's go take some cars. Hey, what else is here? Oh my God, that means we can look at the sphere. Mm. Mm. Oh my God. So it all takes time. Like I said, just friendly competition, man. But anyway, wherever you want to go, you go. Oh God, it's gonna be hot all week long, all this week in the 90s, back to hot and humid again. This effing sucks, dude. Oh God, I can't stand this freaking heat. There it goes, dry fire. Yeah. What the hell? Sheesh. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, so the lottery right now is close to like 800 million. And I played the numbers today. I went to ShopRite, and there was nobody at the counter, but there was this very nice person. There were the lady, the people that worked there. Hey, you can use the machine over there. It's like, what, the machine? They're like, yeah, just put like whatever amount, like $5 or $2, and then you push the button there, and then it automatically prints out your ticket number. I was like, oh, okay. So that's what I did. I put like $10 in there, and I immediately got like, let me say, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. I don't know how many numbers, but I still have the ticket. And I always sign your name in the back of the ticket. It is very important. I saw this thing on YouTube about what to do if you won the lottery. Number one, keep your mouth shut. Two, have a financial expert ready and a tax lawyer ready, because the IRS is going to take a massive chunk of money. But if you have a tax lawyer, you can get like estimate 40 to maybe 55% of your winnings back into your account, because what they do is they're like, hey, no, what do you need this money for? And next thing you know, you're going to be spending money on the lawyer. But they say that for good advice, get yourself a tax lawyer and a good financial account, because that way you can divide the money and put it in certain accounts, while a percentage of it is collecting money, then another account's collecting money in the stock market. So, you are financially secured, you know? And then another thing, they say, if you win the lottery, always take a picture of it on your phone, number one. Number two, sign the back. Always sign the back of the ticket, because the reason why, if you lose that ticket, right, and say you won the lottery, and somebody finds it and they claim, hey, I played these numbers. Really? There's somebody's signature in the back. Who are you? You know? They say to sign it and print it, because that way they know who it belongs to. They can hunt you down and say, hey, this, that, and the other thing. Here's another thing that's good. There's always a code on those tickets, right? And on those codes, they can find the location of where that ticket was played. I was like, I kind of knew that, because now that tickets have more advanced to know where that ticket came from. I was like, oh shit, I didn't know that. So next thing you know, keep your mouth shut, call, play the lottery, all this and that, and then next thing you know, you're good to go. What the hell is my freaking remote? Oh my god, man! I'm sorry. I'm watching this movie. Yeah. But anyway, back to the lottery thing. The one thing they always say is don't brag about it, don't put it on the social network, don't call your friends and family. Hey, I won the lottery. I don't need you anymore. They say, and don't quit your job immediately. That's another thing they said. Don't do that. Um, yeah. And the reason why they tell you not to do that is because you gotta wait. It's not like overnight where it's like, you know, hey, I won the lottery and I'm gonna quit my job. No, what it is like you gotta call them, and then all of a sudden they investigate. They check the number, they check the cameras, they check everything where you bought it. These are numbers that they investigate. Basically, they do their full background check on the person that won the lottery because there are too many people that like to do fraud. Okay, so after that, um, so after you win the lottery, it's a process. Then you win, and all of a sudden everything goes into motion. Hell yeah, we're gonna put the money in here, we're gonna put the money in there. Where are you gonna do it? And then all of a sudden, this is the one thing I don't like is you have to go in front of the news media to find it. You can remain anonymous respectfully, but for me personally, I would wear a mask. I don't want anybody to know, because this is the thing. If I win the lottery, I know every freaking woman out there was like, oh, now someone can pay for my stuff. It's like, no, I ain't paying for your shit. Screw you, dude. Yeah, woman, you pay for your own. I'm not a fool. Oh God. But listen, there's everybody has a dream what they're gonna do with the money. Some people want to travel. Some people want to go here, want to go there. I might get a nice house, maybe two cars, and then maybe open up a business, and like a pizza pull place or something. I don't know. You know what I mean? So many ideas are flowing through my head right now. It's ridiculous. Hold on for a second. Damn it. Mm. Mm. Ah. Oh my God. What the hell is this? Oh my God. Give me a second, man. What the hell's going on here? Ah. Ah. Anyway. So you got to be careful when you win the lottery. Like I said, I must have talked to this before, when the lottery was at $1 billion and everybody's like expressing their dreams, their fantasies, and their hopes and their ambitions to what are they going to do with the money, you know? Basically, you're going to have those assholes that spend, 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 spend. I need a Rolls Royce. I need a Mercedes. I need a platinum watch. I need this. I was like, oh my God. No wonder you're broke. It's like shit. Listen, there are a number of houses where I live that are beautiful, you know? And people are like, you would still live in Mount Holly, New Jersey? Well, yeah, it's a nice town. I keep telling people. There's a lot of restaurants. I'm close to everything, the banks, the restaurants, the supermarkets, a hop, skip, and a jump. And there's plenty to do around my town. Plenty to do. And then after that, maybe just stay quiet, just chill. I would open up my business either here or Medford. Anywhere where it's like a nice, safe neighborhood. Not in Camden, not in Willingboro. Hell to the no, no, no. I'll talk about those towns for another time. But man, this is like, what the hell? Yeah, this is what Camden and Willingboro sound like. Listen to this. That's Camden, and that's Willingboro. Yeah, and I know a lot of people gonna get mad. That's messed up. Gee, I'm sorry for telling the truth. They say like Camden is slowly expanding and rebuilding. I don't think so. It's like let me see like nice shiny buildings. Oh God, I don't know, man. Yeah, yeah. So we'll see what happens, man. Under God's good graces, He can bless me. Hey, Jerry, you win the lottery. Boom, you're good to go. Oh my God. But we'll see what happens, man. I don't even want to talk about it. I don't even want to talk about it. The one thing is like, hey, you're gonna quit your job and leave. They said don't quit your job right away. That's another thing they said. You got to wait till all the investigation is cleared, which will take a couple of days, maybe a week, they said, because number one, they have to know who you are. They have to they have to inspect the lottery ticket. They have to go to the place where you want it with cameras around. They have to check who you are. Did you buy it? Did you purchase it? Did you put your signature in the back? So they're going to be asking questions. By the time everything checks out and you are fine, you're good to go, then you go through another process, which is your bank account, your checking account. Do you have a financial expert? You know what I mean? And then all of a sudden it's like, oh God. Okay, so you want us to put the whole $150 billion into your bank account. Okay. All of it, you know? So you need that financial expert to guide you and where to put that money safely. And you have to be sure it's one of these financial companies that have been around for like 70 to 100 years. That's another thing they said. Don't trust the ones that just started 5 years ago. No. Or one guy that's, hey, I just graduated from University of Business. I know how to handle your money. No, it's another big no no. You got to go with financial companies that's been around for 70 to 100 years. I'm not kidding. Look it up. If you think this is, I'm like, oh, I got a cousin. He's a finance expert. He just graduated from Harvard. No. And you want to know why they recommend those kind of investment companies or financial companies that would help you with your winnings? Number one, they're always being investigated 24/7 by federal agents to make sure what they're doing is legit, honest, and up to par, you know, because they're handling your money because of the stuff that happened in the past of people getting scammed and people getting hoodwinked of their monies and winnings. They got to make sure now if there's a guy that say, hey, I just started lion elephant business of finance, just come with me. Immediately, those are red flags because you just started it. You know, Uh, yeah, so they recommend like Merrill Lynch, a lot of other finance companies that's been around 50, 70, over 100 years because they're legit. They're honest. For them to be around that in business for that long, that's legitimate. That's honesty. That's business where they know how to treat their customers so that way they're like, "Oh God, what should I do?" Because we're gonna go with some guy that just graduated from Harvard or Yale in business, and just, hey, give me $4 million and I'll make it into 20 million within 3 minutes, guarantee. Really? Okay. And then all of a sudden they're like, "Hey, what happened to my 20? Oh, this is what happened. There's something called a loophole. There's something called like a financial wizard that came by. I could try to get it back for you. It might take a year." It's like, fuck you, dude. You know, pay me, jackass. So they're telling people many things. Do that. Go with companies that have been around for 50, 70, up to 100 years. Ugh, I don't blame them. Oh my God. Hold on. Mm. Ah, oh my God. Well, I drank my tea before I came on. I drank my hot tea, and I have ice downstairs. I have my bottled water. Thank God. I was like, damn it, I should have brought all that stuff up here, but I didn't. Oh my God, man. Yeah, I had Chinese food for breakfast. I had Chinese food for dinner. You know, yeah, because I mean, listen, I wanted to eat healthy, so I had vegetable fried rice and I had the steamed chicken and broccoli. You know, and I started to feel a little gassy, and I took my apple cider pills, and immediately the gas just dissipated from my stomach. I was like, oh my God, I feel better. You know, I don't feel bloaty or tired. You know, and they work. That's it. That's it. Oh, God. One more time. There. Oh, the gas is out. I feel so much better. Let me see here. Yeah, this is it. This is better. Yeah, that's a better sound. uh, man. Yeah. Mm-hmm. I'm just checking to see the list to see if I've talked about everything. Well, it's hot again. That's true. And, I gotta see the show. Yes, there's something I wanted to talk about. Okay, I was on this thing called the internet, and I was checking out like celebrities that missed out on opportunities of movies or shows that they loved and they wanted to be in, but they changed their mind. All right, so I was reading like Eddie Murphy, for example. He loves Elvis Presley. He worships him, and he's also a Trekkie. He is a Star Trek fanatic. If you've seen the movie Boomerang, he talks about it on his show. And on interviews, he would mention Star Trek. Like, hey, I want to be in Star Trek. I love the show. He knows everything of that show like crazy, right? So I read this one article that 40 years ago, Eddie Murphy backed out of doing Star Trek movie to play one of his least celebrated roles. Now, the Beverly Hills Cop star chose to do the Golden Child instead, a decision he later said he regretted it. Yeah, because he was supposed to be in 1986 Star Trek The Voyage Home. First went to development at Paramount Pictures, the studio explored the possibilities of adding Eddie Murphy to the cast. Murphy was on a hot streak at the time, having starred in 48 Hours, Trading Places, and Beverly Hills Cop back to back. He was also self proclaimed Trekkie and liked the idea of appearing in Star Trek movie. Initially, anyway, according to the screenwriter Steve Mearson, between 7 and 10 script outlines were written before one finally got approved, but the original draft featured a part for Eddie Murphy. Now, the comedian was supposed to play an astrophysicist at UC Berkeley, though the character was replaced. Hold on, let me adjust my mic here. Okay, but the character was replaced in the final film by cytologist Dr. Gillian Taylor, as portrayed by Catherine Hicks. Now, while speaking to the Woman's World early this year, Mearson revealed that Murphy's character was written as a wacky guy who believes in aliens and is hell bent on proving the. Ow, my eye. Ow, damn it. Hold on. Oh, God, I hate it when you get an itch on your eyelid and you're wearing glasses. All right, so where was I? Okay, here we go. So Mearson revealed Murphy's character was written as a wacky guy who believes in aliens and is hell bent on proving they exist. In one comedic scene, he steals a phaser from Captain Kirk, only to have a cat mistake it for a toy. Before long, the cat ends up vaporizing all the furniture in the apartment. All right. Now, Eddie Murphy almost joined Star Trek 6. Yeah, that's it, but turned it down to do The Golden Child. Now, producer Harv Bennett once described his initial meetings with Murphy as a little bizarre. From his collection, Murphy showed up with two other men. All three of them were sporting black leather outfits. Oh, hey, where's my stuff? Damn it. Oh, my God. I, what's a relation? Showed up with all the black. Although Murphy liked what Although Murphy liked what was pitched to him, then he wanted to see the script prior to committing to the project. The studio eventually started second guessing the idea, but Murphy had enough clout at the point to keep himself in the conversation until he made his decision. Ultimately, Murphy walked away from the opportunity in part because there were no scenes in which the character would have been on board for the iconic Starship Enterprise. Additionally, he felt that starring in The Golden Child, released the same year as Star Trek Six: The Voyage Home, was better for his career. Despite The Golden Child being a commercial success, it wasn't well received, and Murphy has gone on record as calling it a piece of shit. Murphy was Murphy was later quoted as saying, "I think I might have been better off doing Star Trek 6." Um, yeah. Live and learn and regret for your decisions, you know? But he still has time. There's so many Star Trek, like Star Trek Strange New Worlds. They're working on another Star Trek movie. I mean, I don't see why this guy can just pick up the phone and say, "Hey, I would like to be a character in a Star Trek," or he can be a captain or something of a serious role. I don't see why he doesn't do that. Eddie Murphy has clout, he has power, he has like connections and say, "Hey, I want to be in the next Star Trek movie. What do you want to play?" I don't know, maybe a Cleon, maybe a Romulan, or maybe a captain of a ship, or a doctor or a scientist, something. Where you can say, "Hey, I was in Star Trek. I got my foot in the door." I have nothing against the show. I love Star Trek. I watched the original series, the rebooted, remastered, revisualized um, show, Star Trek. I saw all 86 episodes. It took about a year, but I watched it and I loved them. They were really good, very intellectual, great writing, great performances, great storylines. And at the time when Star Trek came out, it was like a phenomenal thing. Everybody, like, what? You mean we can't go into space? It's like, yeah. So it has history, it has like respect in the sci-fi world, you know? And Eddie Murphy is a Star Trek head. I mean, he, like I said, in the movie Boomerang, he said, who's Captain Kirk's middle name? Tiberius, you know. And I was like, wow, yeah. Only Trekkies would know questions of the Star Trek world, you know? Star Wars is great too. I love Star Wars. There is footage of a convention, I think it was like in the late 70s or the early 80s, where the Star Trek nerds and Star Trek and the Star Wars and the Star Trek nerds fought each other. Yeah, it was like this big brawl. And there's this actual footage, but it's like one of those video cameras was taken back in those days. Um, yeah, it's funny as hell. You could barely hear the audio, but they don't know how the whole fight started. They don't think it's like, "Oh, my Star Trek is better than your Star Wars. Luke's better than Captain Kirk." No. I think again, the audio is very hard, but you can find it on YouTube. It's funny as hell. Oh my god. Um, and that episode in Saturday Night Live, you know, I think I could find it on here. Oh, I have it saved up. Give me a second here. Uh, it is when oh my god, William Shatner hosted Saturday Night Live. I think it was in 1986. And it was a scene where he was at this convention and immediately he was like broke character and he's like, "Guys, get a life. Move out of your parents' apartment. When was the last time you kissed a girl?" Oh my god, it was the most funniest thing I have ever seen, and I loved it. And I'm trying to find this that way I could play it for you. In a memento, por favor. I know I have it. Oh my god. Okay, a few more ups, and then if I can't find it, then forget about it. I'll just continue on without it. But I know it's here. I feel it in my bones. Oh god. There were many episodes where I've done where like I transport it, one to beam up. Oh my god. I knew I should have saved it even more, but I can't find it. Oh, forget it. Damn it. Ah. Anyway, but you can find it on YouTube. It is most hysterical actual Star Trek, SNL skits I have ever seen. I loved it. Uh, oh my god. Oh god. I don't even want to look at that. No, I don't really don't. All right, hold on. Somebody send me a message. Give me a second here. Oh my god. But anyway, so Star Trek has been around longer than Star Wars. All right, Star Trek started in 1963. Wait a minute. All right, let me get this accurately. All right, hold on. What year did Star Trek the original series start? All right, here we go. Aha, here it is. So the original Star Trek television series premiered on September 8th, 1966 on NBC in the United States, and 2 days earlier on September 6th, 1966 on CTV in Canada. Most users in Kurora agree that the first run lasted for 3 seasons until 1969, establishing a massive sci-fi franchise, which was true, which was immensely true. But it was the conventions that saved the show, which made movies, which made Star Trek Next Generation, and so on and so on and so on. So the television debut, September 8th, 1966, the original series. The first feature film, December 7th, 1979, Star Trek the Motion Picture. Not well received, but you get those fanatics that say it was a classic, it was the best. Now, the first spin off series, September 28th, 1987, Star Trek The Next Generation. And that was it. All right. So now let's go to Star Wars. What year did Star Wars start? There we go. Okay. The first Star Wars movie, titled Star Wars, later retitled Star Wars Episode 6 and New Hope, came out May 25th, 1977. All right. So that goes to show you that Star Trek came first. Now, director George Lucas, original title Star Wars, and later Star Wars Episode 6 and New Hope added in 1981. Now, the trilogy from Star Trek, Star Wars, Empire Strikes Back, and Return to the Jedi. Basically, at the time, it was like competition between the two, but it was an immense, friendly, respectable competition. Like George Lucas was a good with Gene Roddenberry. Gene Roddenberry started the series Star Trek. Yeah, so the space opera saga began with the original Star Wars film, 1970. Pop culture phenomenon. Star Wars was like released again in 1977 and was the first subtitle. All right. So where did Gene Roddenberry came up with Star Trek? All right, here we go. All right, so I'm looking this up. All right, Gene Roddenberry conceived Star Trek in 1964 by pitching it as Wagon Train to the Stars. That was the original title. And thank God it didn't keep that. Adapting it to the popular 1950s Western TV show format into an optimistic sci-fi space exploration vessel. Now, Gene Roddenberry wrote the script. That was his vision. That was his idea. And it was a pulp sci-fi. Hey, let me write that down. Hold on. Pulp sci-fi. That's a good title right there. Sci-fi. Let me write that down. All right. Cool beans. I got it. So pulp sci, real space race, blended traditionally space fiction reading from his youth with rising excitement of the 1960s aerospace from NASA programs. Now, the first pilot was called The Cage. It was rejected for the first time, but Gene pushed it and they finally did the series. Now, the network NBC forced casting and character changes. And Star Trek was pretty much the first series to have other nationalities on there. They had an Asian, an African American, an Irishman. And I was like, oh, wow, women too, like in control. It was like, at the time, it was not, you know, accepted in those days, which is why, like, when Bruce Lee tried to break into television and movies, mostly television, they were given a hard time because he was Asian, but the guy acted very well. But, this, all right, we'll put him in this, we'll put him in this and make him happy, shut him up, So he went through hell, you know. Oh, my God. So why Gene Barry created Star Trek? All right, the only reason Roddenberry created Star Trek, at least initially, was to sell another series to a network. He was not. Wait, he was, if not, desperate and anxious. He had just failed with The Lieutenant for Norman Felton's Arena Productions, and more importantly, had incidents where he had failed as a producer, letting shows go over budget and other elements go out hard. No one was clamoring for another series from Roddenberry. not even his scripts. Like his agent suggested he come up with a space series, and that's how everything happened. And for the time during those like mid early '60s, whatever the hell, it was like something that people have never seen. Like, wow, you mean we can actually send a ship to space? There are actually aliens out there? Oh my god. It was basically pushing for the space race. You know, Russians were, the United States were. It was like, oh my god. But like I said, Star Trek has history. It's been around longer. Gene Roddenberry had a vision, you know, and look what he created. And to this day, people use like the Vulcans and Romulans and oh god, there's so many aliens out there. And listen, I love Star Trek. I've always respected the series, the movies, you know, the storylines, the acting. And don't get me wrong, I've also loved Star Trek, Star Wars. Damn it, Star Wars Trek. So Star Wars does have history, you know, and it's been around longer. The special effects are better. The storylines get better. Now they're working on another Star Wars series and another Star Wars movie, which is Star Wars: The Last Starfighter. The title is like so confused, but anyway, it's to a point where you know they're trying to come up with something different, like the Ark, Babylon 5, you know, Battlestar Galactica. There's so many shows out there nowadays, sci-fi, that are like in a point, in a way where there's like, listen, we got to come up with something different. We can't come up with something that's already been done, but too late. They're still doing things that's been done 1,000 times. Like in that movie that I saw, Project Hail Mary. I love the movie. It was funny. It was using like quotes and genres from other movies, like homages, like Star Trek when he said shields and no shields popped up. Um, when he in what was that movie called? Oh my god. Oh my lord. What was the name of it? Oh, Close Encounters of a Third Kind. And they use another Star Wars reference. I was like, okay, all right. This movie is pretty cool. It wasn't that bad. I liked, you know, Project Hail Mary. It was really good. But nowadays, I don't know. So many sci-fi movies and so many sci-fi shows. It's like they're claiming and they want to be like the next Star Trek. Yeah, they want to continue with the genre, with the hopes and dreams of something new for this generation to say, "Oh wow, I want to be this and want to be this captain." I don't know. It is what it is. Like when I see Star Trek: Strange New Worlds, to me personally, it's a great show. I love it. Would I ever watch the original series again? Ah, not really. One time was good enough for me. I have to start watching Star Trek: The Next Generation, though. I really have to start watching that. I only watched one episode. I mean, technically, I saw like like maybe 4, maybe 10 episodes, but I didn't get to see all of them. You know, which I'm going to start doing hopefully this month. I mean, because I really have to. You know, hold on for 1 second. Damn it. I gotta write this down before I forget. Pay car insurance this week. Okay, I'm so sorry, man. This week. Okay. Bamo. Okay, got it. Oh my god. I just wish there was Star Trek right now so it can beam me up out somewhere. I have no idea. But other than that, what I can say is this: Star Wars, Star Trek, Battlestar Galactica, Babylon 5, you know, Ark, and all these other sci-fi movies. They always have to pay homage and say thank you to a series, to a show that started it all. Having some ship out there exploring strange new worlds, seeing new aliens, hopes and dreams of seeing other galaxies and universes out there, you know? And you have these astronomers and like looking at their telescopes every day, hoping that there is life out there. And there is. And there is. But no one knows if they're friendly or they have modern technology or better technology or whatever. And I know, listen, it's sci-fi for them to build a ship like that to explore other worlds. It'll never happen unless we use alien technology that can give it to us. Well, for right now, it's good to watch it on your laptop, phone, or your TV. Because why? Because it's entertaining, it's educational, and it's satisfying that basically you're watching a show that's sci-fi, but sci-fi A-OK-A. Okay, no, but it's sci-fi, but it's satisfaction sci-fi. That's what it is. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for listening to another edition episode of Captain Jerry Torres. Hey, or Captain Gerard Torres. I have to be more professional. Jeez, man, Gerard. Is that Captain Gerard M. Torres? Yes, it is. Oh, God. Anyway, but thank you for listening to another edition episode of the Jerry Torres program. As you all well know, I am an accomplished author. I have written a book entitled Chinese Food for Breakfast. You can find my book either on lulu.com, that is Lulu, or on Amazon Kindle. And it's an ebook. You can download the book, read the book anytime, anywhere on your phone, tablet, or your laptop. And the book is only $4, people. So you're really not going to be breaking the bank. And the book is about fun. So download the book today and enjoy a good read. Chinese Food for Breakfast by Jerry Torres. Also, listen to my good friend Letice Mitchell's podcast show, Toys Talk. She's in the works of making a comeback. Her podcast show was hysterical. She talks about life, love, family, friends, anything. And she's one of my favorite female comics, and I love working with her. She is hysterical. So find Letice Mitchell podcast show again on TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, or on our original series on iHeartRadio. So listen to Letice Mitchell's Toys Talk.
It'll make your head spin.
Toys Talk with Letice Mitchell.
It'll knock your socks off.
Toys
You just got pwned.
Talk.
Real bad.
Also, listen to Gordo B. He is an upcoming hip hop artist. I love his music. You can listen to his music on TikTok, Instagram, or on YouTube. His music is so smooth. The lyrics are so understandable. I compare his music to like Diggable Planets, A Tribe Called Quest, and De La Soul. Very smooth, mellow music. You just put your headsets on, sit down in a chair, and just bop your head, man. So find Gordo B. He's also in the works of making a new album and working on a tour. So find Gordo B on TikTok, Instagram, or on YouTube. Download his music, download his album, and enjoy good music. And Gordo B is spelled Gordo, big letter B. Yeah. And also listen to, wait a minute, that applause and listen to Gordo B. What the hell is it? There we go. That's much better. Anyway. And also, you know what? I should have brought it up, but I was watching a movie called The Judy Garland Story, how she was in London, England. Yeah, that woman went through a lot, man. I felt bad for her. But anyway, I'll get into that some other time. And also listen to Funky Times. They are a great band. They mixed up with jazz, funk, rock. You can find them on TikTok, Instagram, or on YouTube. You can download their music and listen to their music. They mix it up with jazz, funk, rock. They know how to make music and make music right. If you're interested in hiring them for an event, send them an email, work things out, and I guarantee you won't regret it. So listen and find them. Funky Time. And speaking of Funky Times, I use their music pretty much to close my podcast. And a 3 doing a 1 and a 1 doing the 3. All right, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for listening to another episode of the Jerry Torres program. As you all well know, I am an accomplished author. Oh, anyway, as I always say towards the end of my podcast, whatever religious figure you believe in, may you be blessed. I bid you all a fond fondue I'll be back. So I ask you all, please, don't go a changing. I'm a gone, get it gone, and bye.
Powered by Riverside FM.
Limited time offer. No purchase necessary. Offer valid at participating locations. Void where prohibited. No animals were harmed during the production of this soundboard. Subject to change without notice. Side effects include dry mouth, occasional pig snort or two, sore stomach, teary eyes, achy jaws, and whatever tingles well. Laughing heart.
You've just heard the Jerry Torres program on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and also and Riverside FM. Plus, you can listen to him and other podcast affiliates. And subscribe to the Jerry Torres program on Spotify, ladies and gentlemen, because always remember that the Jerry Torres program has been known to bring magic in to your heart, mind, and soul. Magic.